Hi friends, and welcome to the weekly moon update. In these videos, we talk about the moon energy for the current week, as well as a little bit of astrology. In this video's case, we are talking about August 25th through the 31st. So this is technically a first quarter moon week, but the first quarter is not until the end of the week. So the entirety of the week is a waxing crescent moon. And because we're so close to the new moon that we had on Saturday, the moon's still pretty dark. So the beginning of the week is probably going to start off slow, unless you have been really feeling motivated with the shift of the sun into the Virgo season and into this Virgo moon cycle, because Virgo likes to be productive. So if you've been feeling motivated and energized to like restructure your life and to get things done, then perhaps this can be a productive week because, like I said, we have this waxing energy. So the light is increasing with energy, even though it's starting off dark and slow, and the moon will be 50% lit on Sunday, the 31st, for a first quarter Sagittarius moon. So we also have Venus changing signs this week. The energy of this week just feels very much like productive, and I almost want to say energetic, but not really, because of it, we're still kind of dark, but it's just, I don't know, maybe like feeling inspired or motivated or encouraged. Even if you're taking like small steps or slow steps, it feels kind of lighthearted. And that might be because Venus is moving into Leo, so there's kind of this fun and flirty energy to Venus and Leo. So I don't know, it just feels easygoing. Easygoing is the word I'm looking for. Easygoing. So let's jump into this easygoing week. So as you can see, the moon's pretty dark starting off this week. So we've got the waxing crescent throughout the entire week. And then technically we have our 50% first quarter moon on Sunday. Again, the first quarter moon is in Sagittarius, so that kind of adds to that feeling of like feeling motivated and feeling inspired, because Sagittarius is like just really interested in learning and going, seeing what's next, what's around the corner, what's that next adventure. So there's just something about this week that feels very like lighthearted, easygoing, motivated, and you can really feel that shift and change of season too. So I think we're like, I don't know, getting excited for a change, getting excited for the transformation of seasons. We're closing out the new moon energy on Monday because it technically will still be in Virgo in the morning, and then it's a really quick transition. We've been having these really long, strange transitions lately, but really quick transition from Virgo into Libra. That's very kind of like Virgo energy. We're like, okay, let's make this switch, let's make this transformation and do it quickly. And so the energy of Monday with the moon moving into Libra and Venus moving into Leo has this very fun, flirty kind of energy to it. It's Virgo likes to do the work and like focus on things, and so it's like when Venus moves into Leo and when the moon moves into Libra, there's just this shift of like not taking things so seriously, more lighthearted and easygoing, which was like the word I'm using to describe this week. Venus and Leo, like we just left Leo season, and just like Leo style and Leo fashion, it's like we're not we're not done with Leo energy yet. Even though the sun has moved, the moon, we've ended the Leo moon cycle. Leo's like, wait, still pay attention to me, still focus on the self, still put the spotlight on me. Especially Venus in Leo is like really luxurious and appreciating the finer things in life, wanting to be waited on, wanting to like go out to dinner and have like a fine dining experience and have people cater to you and bring you things, and pampering yourself, and also like fun and playful. Like think of like how you watch a cat play, how they just like roll around, and like rolling around in catnip is kind of the energy of Venus and Leo. So starting off this week on Monday, we have this very kind of like fun, playful, flirty kind of energy. And I feel like I talk about Libra, the transition from Virgo to Libra, a lot. And like I said earlier, Virgo's very focused and pinpointed on things, and Libra is more expansive. Virgo is earth, grounded, centered. Libra is air. Like air is everywhere. It like fills in all of the spaces and the nooks and the crannies. So Virgo and air energy helps us use our brain and expand our minds and figure out. Virgo was focused on this like one little thing. What are the other things? There are so many other things that need our attention. Like what is that? So when the moon is in Libra, I like to focus on things that I've been neglecting, or just taking time to look at the bigger picture. Like Virgo is so pinpointed and centered. Like what else is there? What else needs our attention? What else needs? Libra is the scales of balance and justice. So if Virgo is focusing on like one thing and one side of the story, Libra reminds us that like, hey, there's another side to this. What is the opposite opinion? What is the opposite perspective? And how can we look at that? And how can we take all of those things into consideration to find this compromise, or to find the solution to the problem? It's fairness, and it's justice, and it's balance. It's how can we make this work for the best of everybody, of all of the situations involved, all of the taking into consideration all of the different things. So we'll be in Libra energy all day Monday and all day Tuesday as well. And then it's making a somewhat quick transition, about 30 minutes, into Scorpio on Tuesday night. So Scorpio season is that fall, spooky Halloween vibes. Think of how I remember the energy of each sign is thinking about that time of year, thinking about that season. And there's just something that's so magical and electric about fall, about that season, about that time where everything around us is transforming and transitioning, and it's shedding and releasing and letting go. But when we have a waxing moon, which in this case it's a waxing crescent moon, getting closer and closer to that first quarter, Scorpio can electrify things. It can magnetize things. It can draw things to you. So when the moon is increasing with energy and increasing with light, what are these things that you like want to call into your energy? Libra helped us expand our energy and open our minds and change our perspective. Now we've got this open space. What do we want to call in to that space? And Scorpio energy helps us to do that. So think about the things that you need. Think about your Virgo intentions. What were your goals? What were the list that you made? And how can you draw in the things that you need to accomplish those things? And it's going to feel like we're going to feel that 2.5 days of Scorpio energy all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, most of Friday as well. The moon will start to transition at 8:04 p.m. Friday, and a little bit of a longer transition. It will not move into Sagittarius until Saturday morning at 10:05 a.m. So that brings us into the weekend again with that spark and that inspiration, that motivation. So we talk about like the waxing moon, which is when the moon is increasing with light, getting closer and closer to that full moon. And the waning moon is when it's decreasing in light, getting darker and darker to the new moon. So we talk about the waxing times being the productive times, and the times that you should be using that energy wisely, using it productively, because you have that energy, you have that fuel that you need, that light that you need to see clearly and to do things properly. However, I really, the longer I've followed the moon, the more I have felt like the crescent phases, though even waxing or waning crescent phase, is the slower times for me. Once the moon reaches that first quarter, that's when I start to actually feel like I have the energy to move, like physical energy to move, is really not until the first quarter, because it's 50% energy, 50% light. And so I find that my most productive times are from first quarter to the last quarter, because from that time the moon is at least, it goes from 50% to 100 back to 50% again. And that's the peak time for me. The full moon time is the peak time. But like first quarter to last quarter, that's just when I feel the most productive. It's after the last quarter that my energy starts to decrease and wane. It's not necessarily like the new moon, like when we have that waxing crescent. That's not when my energy starts. I'm still kind of in that reflective phase during the crescent moon. And so for the entirety of this week, you might have low energy, and you might not have the motivation that you need until Saturday or Sunday, especially because of that Sagittarius fire energy and the first quarter. That's just my first personal opinion. But because it is a weekend, instead of having this being like a inspiring, motivating, productive time, this might be an inspiring, motivating adventure time, a learning time, going to a museum and learning something, going for a hike and walking, going on an adventure, because it's the weekend. So to go with the moon in Leo, or to go with the Venus in Leo vibes, I've chosen a card from the Oracle of Roses, and we have the Flirt, which in my opinion really truly encompasses this Venus and Leo energy, the starting off the week with Libra and closing out the summer. It just has this like lazy, fun in the sun, playful kind of energy. I just picture these like lions rolling around in the sun, and like the setting sun, like the light is like all golden and like all these different shades of gold and auburn. And I don't know, that's just what I picture. When I picture this week and Venus and Leo, I just picture like lions rolling around playing in golden sunset kind of light. So we have the Flirt, which is the sweet briar rose. And it says, opening your heart to more playful and lighter outlook on what is before you will allow you the space to see beyond negativity clouding your judgment. Go through all of the options, even those that may seem rather remote, before making your decision. It is too easy to let something that seems quote unquote good at the time to get away from you, and for this to become your long-term and perhaps not substantial enough reality. The Flirt may know how to connect with others through a veil of lightness, but beware of what is on offer in exchange for the attention. So the question for exploration is, why don't you play a little, have a little fun, and experiment a little more? And let's see, the meanings and uses of this card are charm, playfulness, attention, connection, confidence. The deities associated with this rose are Dionysus, who is very known as a playful deity, Gelos, which is Gelos. I'm not sure who that is. I don't know any of these other ones either. Petithio, Petitho, and Lorelei, also don't know. And then the astrological sign is Gemini, which, as we all know, is very fun and playful energy. So I like the line about allow the space to see beyond any negativity clouding your judgment, because I've found myself like the world is so crazy right now. It's so overwhelming, and it's really hard to wrap your brain around a lot of things. It's really hard to cope with a lot of things, the like magnitude of the state of the world. And it's, especially for us that are really sensitive and emotional, it's really hard to process these things. I find myself in these really deep, dark moments that aren't always because of the things that I'm dealing with in my personal life, which is a lot. It is very heavy. I think all of us individually are going through really big transformations in our personal lives right now. And that is rippled out collectively. And then globally, there are huge, unfathomable things happening in the world that just kind of combines with what we're experiencing personally. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's really hard to pull yourself out of those things because it's no matter where you look, there's something coming in that is negative. It's almost kind of like we're in this energetic warfare where it's just constantly being bombarded with negative energy. And I just like that this card reminds us to like focus on something that changes that perspective from negative to positive. Focus on something, even if it's just something silly and playful, like, I don't know, like doing a puzzle, playing a video game, watching a funny video, or watching a funny movie, or laughing with your friend, playing with your cat, taking your dog for a walk, finding some little tiny thing, eating your favorite food that sparks some sort of positive energy within you, whether that's playfulness or doing something nice for somebody, being kind to somebody else, being kind to yourself, having a self-care day. Like, find some positive thing, because once you ignite that little spark of positive energy, and I'm talking to future Allison too, because we have been in some very dark, painful places lately, and I need this advice too. The things that I talk about in these videos are the things that I actively try to do in my life, because I'm not love and light all the time. I'm not fun and playful all the time, but we can find things that kind of ignite that spark, and then that spark ignites another, and then it's this flame. It's not this like little tiny smothered ember. It's something that can like grow and glow and expand. So our crystal here is Scolecite. Scolecite is such a cool crystal. So it's a Synergy 12 Ascension Stone that combines universal consciousness and channels inner wisdom and spiritual guidance. It activates the Soul Star chakra, facilitates deep lineage and ancestral healing, and brings a flow of light energy. Scolecite also restores peace and helps with accurate dream interpretation. Affirmation is, I seek higher wisdom and connection. My guides are with me, bringing healing to me and my lineage. So one of the things that I just love so much about Scolecite, like, it is an ascension stone. It is connected to the soul star chakra, the crown chakra, and helps with that expansion of wisdom, which there's something very expansive about this week coming up too. But it grows in these fans of it. It almost looks like coral. Like it looks like something that should be beneath the sea with like fish swimming around it or something, which I think is really interesting because like our white stones are the crown chakra and the soul star chakra, like clear quartz, but I really associate, because of it looks like something that belongs under the sea. I really associate it with it like internal energy, like subconscious energy, like going really deep within, going really deep below the ocean or below the surface of your consciousness. So last but not least, our chakra card is solar plexus, which when I pulled this card, I felt like it was reminding us like, hey, summer's not over yet. Just because you're already back to school, just because you might be having cooler nights and it's starting to get cooler and darker earlier, doesn't mean that we can't have fun. Doesn't mean that we can still honor and play with the sun while it's here. So we have solar power, a solar plexus chakra card. Look to the sun. Allow its glorious light to radiate from your entire body. Let its warmth rise from the core of you, propelling and empowering you with every step that you take. When you attune with the wisdom of the sun, you will understand that whatever you seek and long for can be yours. All that you seek awaits you, says the sun. So this is solar plexus chakra, and the crystal they recommend is pyrite, and the herb is anise. I've been having pyrite come up a lot lately for me. It's funny, it's like one of the oldest crystals that I've ever, like back in the 90s, like the crystals that you could get were clear quartz, amethyst, and pyrite and hematite. And that was like what every gift shop that had crystals sold, was like those four crystals. And so pyrite is like one of the first crystals I've ever had. It's a Leo stone. So I think people would like give it to me because of that, because of my birthday, but I always forget. I've never really worked with it energetically other than just like having it around. So I guess I need to work with pyrite. I guess we all need to work with pyrite. It is a confidence stone. It's a prosperity stone as well. So like believing in that abundance, believing in that light, and having that reminder of like, hey, the sun is still here. Hey, positive energy is still here, even if the world seems dark, even if things happening around you seem dark. Uh, Light and abundance and manifestation is still possible, even in those darker moments. And in those darker moments is sometimes when we find the brightest light. So I hope that you have a wonderful, happy week. I hope that you're able to get in flow with like your own energy. Like just because the moon's light is increasing with energy doesn't mean that you have to. Like find the whole point of this planner and the whole point of this video is to like meet yourself where you're at and grow and expand from that place of centeredness and connection to yourself. I think I'm working on coming out with a video of going through all of the moon phases and how your personal cycle might be interacting with it and how you might be able to work with that energy. It's taking a while for me to work on it, but I'm getting there with it. Hopefully this week will help spark and motivate me to be creative this week. So I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a good introduction to the Virgo season and the Virgo moon cycle. I hope you're able to be productive and feel inspired to be productive and to get things done and to get things organized, but to not forget to play and to be lighthearted and easygoing as well. So thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon.